Hi, I'm Professor Larry Louie. Welcome to Managerial Economics. I'm going to enjoy working with you this term because this is one of my favorite topics because it underlies so much of what I've done in my career, not just finance, but also strategy, marketing, operations. You'll find that this is quite an important topic. So first, let's talk about physics and engineering. Wait a minute, this is physics and engineering? Well, not really, but I'm going to draw a parallel that if you're in engineering or you know about engineering, underlying all of these types of engineering topics like electrical, chemical, mechanical, industrial, and civil is physics. But there's a little difference between the blues and the green here. Physics is a collection of fundamental laws that drive how things work, whereas engineering is more real life. It's applications. It deals with friction, whereas in physics we often ignore friction. And it has other constraints like laws. In civil engineering, there's a lot of building laws and codes that have nothing to do with physics. So engineers have to be well versed not only in what is the fundamental theory of physics, but all these other realities that go into making something real. Managerial economics is very similar. It's a set of fundamental laws that drive business disciplines, whether that's about how markets and industries work, or business strategy, or marketing, or finance, or operations. All of these rely on economics, and specifically managerial economics, for many of its key principles and concepts. So just like engineering deals with realities and friction and laws, so too do we as business people, and so too do we rely on some fundamental truths. We hope that this will prove to be the set of fundamental truths, otherwise known as managerial economics. Our goal is to connect. So it's just not another class that's hanging out there on your transcript, but it's one where we understand the core concepts, we apply it to disciplines, and then within the disciplines, we see that there are specific decisions that we make that use those concepts. An example, just among many, are supply and demand. We will see this in marketing, and we could use it in product pricing because product pricing must consider the competition and also the characteristics of our customers and the realities of pricing. Next, in industry structure, is used a lot in strategy and in the area of mergers and acquisition. We really need to understand our position, our relative cost position, and also the nature of the industry. Is it highly competitive, or is it monopolistic, or are there a few large competitors? What is it? And those are topics that we'll study in managerial economics. In this course, we're going to cover 13 chapters out of the book, and we will be able to hopefully attach those concepts to real life situations, such as how does dynamic pricing work? Some of you may know that stadiums sometimes have different prices for tickets based on the opponent that's coming into town. And those are very clever to price the demand curve and also to make sure the seats are filled. So it may seem like you're getting a seat for nothing, like $5, but in fact, they want you in there so you can spend money on food and drink and souvenirs. Next is supply. How many Teslas should they build? How can they gauge a level of demand and when that demand would occur? Then there's individual behavior. How does someone pick an apartment? What are the criteria that they use when doing so? And what is the price they're willing to pay for that apartment? In the area of production, how much automation should be used, or should they outsource altogether? In the area of marketing and strategy, how would De Beers strategy relate to their markets in such a different way than Coca-Cola to their markets? Next, economics of information. How much should we pay to acquire a target company? And what is it that makes it a little nervous for us that we may not know everything we need to know before such an important and major acquisition? And lastly, game theory, pricing, and business strategy. How do we enter the market? Do we go with low prices and penetrate, or do we skim the market with a high price because of the distinctiveness and value of our product? These are topics we're going to cover in this course, and topics I hope that you will find interest in, whether you're in any of the disciplines or all of the disciplines. We will, in this class, like the ones that we've had before, we'll flip the classroom. We will do videos for the lecture portion of what we're going to be doing together. And that allows us in our classroom to do problems, discussions, and look at some current applications. And after that, we'll make sure we know that we're making progress by having homework. After each day of courses, we will have homework assignments, and those will be representative of the key material that you should learn and will be tested on in the final exam. Keys to success on this class as well as others, I'm sure you've heard this one before, is be your own boss. You're in charge of your education, not me. And because of that, you should have a growth mindset. You should prepare yourself for classes. not just because that's good practice, but that enables you to get all you can out of the material, the conversation, and allow you to ask questions and be on time. And that's just a good practice as professionals. And whether that's for class or for your team meetings, that's a good practice that you should bring over into your studies. And the last is participate. This is a safe playground for you to develop. So if you know it, that's great. But if you don't know it, it's a time to practice some new muscles and to ask questions, knowing that there's no fear of reprisal or grading even, because we're not grading participation in this course. It's just for you to learn. So when we're together, it's there purely for you to learn as much as you can and use it for that purpose. So in summary, managerial economics is a key set of concepts that underlie most of our business disciplines. And we have an ambitious but achievable set of course topics and develop a rhythm. We're going to be going basically every day, Monday through Friday. And because of that, there should be a rhythm that you can have. And the videos should focus your learning such that we can discuss those topics and applications of those topics in our class time together and be fully engaged. And if you have any problems with anything or questions, feel free to ask, whether it's in class or after class or in a separate meeting that we set up. Please get engaged with this material. I hope you find it as fascinating, as important as I do. Our assignments and grading, we'll have a final exam on Tuesday, February 2nd, and that is 40% of the grade. Then we have 2 group type exercises. One is a team research paper and presentation, which is worth 25%. And the other is peer review of your contribution to your team, worth 5. Then we have an individual paper tying what you see in either the Wall Street Journal or the Economist. And it should be something of interest to you, whether it's from your home country or a country you're interested in or an industry you're familiar with or not familiar with. Use this as an opportunity to explore tying the material that we're going to learn in managerial econ to a specific industry or company. And there's daily homework. Again, this is more like practice, and we will drop the lowest score in the final grade determination, and that's worth 15%. Here's a class schedule for our coming weeks. We start on Monday the 11th, and we'll end classes on the 28th. Friday the 29th is a review session, and then you will begin your class with Professor Steve Kernan the following Monday, and we'll have a test on Tuesday the 2nd, which enables you to have a weekend to digest and hopefully internalize all your learning to do well on the test. So additional resources, we can discuss anything in our meetings, whether that's after class or in a appointment we make with the team or individually. And you can reach me best through the help email address you see there. And then there's a digital library, which will be actually required because you have a paper based on that type of research. And you could use Google. Google's fine, but there are some proprietary databases that we've subscribed to, which are very valuable. Notably, Wall Street Journal and Economist. Those would be invaluable for your paper and your team project. And also ProQuest, which is a good periodical search engine with, again, proprietary magazines and articles and databases for you to tap to do further research into your paper or your project. So next step, watch the videos for our first class at least. I will try to do more than one class. I'll try to get through 1 week of videos before this weekend for you to do a little binge watching if you so choose. And then order the book. It's a good one, so you should have it. I won't go through every page of the book, nor should I. But there are some pretty good examples, further details about the concepts and the calculations we'll be doing, and a lot of industry observations that help tie, again, what we're learning with what's happening in the real world. And then look at the homework. I haven't posted them yet, but I'll post them before class. And we'll have those available early for the entire course. And so you can look at them after you watch a video, even before class, but they're not due till after the class. But you'll have time to do so at your leisure or based on your own learning style. And other than that, we're set. See you on Monday. Bye-bye.